Welcome to the show. This is The Force Always. My name is Diz, aka David Zammer. Let's get on with the show with the news, the views, and reviews. So, what's making news is later on the show, which is the next segment, which is my views segment. I'll give you a Star Wars Celebration 2027 update and resolve in my reviews section, just to let you know so we can get through the news. Making more news, Mandalorian Grogu is only weeks away, and the heavy advertising is just, in many shapes and form. Popcorn containers, lots of YouTube behind the scene type stuff, and also really creative video. You could possibly find this on YouTube or Instagram. It's a baby Yoda. It's somewhere in New York, really close to Times Square. In fact, it could be Times Square, near Times Square at least, where he's using the Force to grab a piece of popcorn from the other side of the road all the way to his hands into the advertising of Mandalorian Grogu. Check it out. It's quite creative. It's probably goes for about a minute, the process of him getting this particular popcorn, but it's quite creative. Anyway, so that is the news. Oh, sorry, the other piece of news, Starfighter, the movie Star Wars Starfighter, which is coming out in 2027, I think May 28, has had apparently some hypnosis and character reveals possible. This is all possible. Look, I'm not going to take them serious until it's sort of presented by the official people somewhere in Disney, Star Wars, Lucasfilm, whoever it is. So some of the reveals of possible character names and hypnosis has been put out there. It's been sort of put out there by a number of outlets, but it is not official. It's just apparently been reported. Anyway, so let's now get into the views. Views is usually my viewpoint or story ideas, and at the moment my viewpoint my view of creating a story or a viewpoint that I have, which is more opinion based. And at the moment, we are a lot of us, including myself, are going through the process of not being able to get Star Wars Celebration 2027 tickets. Now, I've said this very clearly. I understand this is a third world problem. It's not a big deal. But as Star Wars fans, this is like life. This is like a life for us. I've got many things in my life that I do and I'm, creative with. Music is one, and Star Wars is another. And there's other things I do too. But this now sort of coming up to a closure of the week, I have sent many emails, especially to Repop. I only got one early this morning. The reason why this morning, probably because the weekend happened, and as we're ahead in time here in Melbourne, Australia, you'd get it, from a Tuesday, from weekend emails rather than a Monday here in Australia. But pretty much in the email, without being a generated message, from what I can tell, it says, I understand your frustrations. They've put me on a wait list, and we'll let you know when tickets come available. Now, my suggestion is I will give you this email to, so you can vent whatever you like to vent, but also to request yourself to be on this particular wait list. So the actual email you should be doing, this is the exact, I'll say the words, then I'll spell it. Star Wars Celebration at readpop.com. Again, that's Star Wars Celebration at readpop.com. It's spelled StarWarsCelebration E B R A T I O N at reedpop.com. That's the actual email that you should be sending your, your feelings, your thoughts, whatever, and really have the email, I'd say short, straight to the point of what this experience has done to yourself and what you would like to happen. So request that you go on a wait list. Hopefully that will work out. Going back to resolve, because I've entitled this particular video Star Wars Celebration 2027 Ticket Resolve. The resolve is they should make tickets available ASAP. Tickets should be for this event in 2027, not future events. And the resolve, personally, this is, again, is going to sound a little bit over the top for people who are not hardcore Star Wars fans, but it's caused me quite a depressive moment in the Star Wars history here. The top of the list is this is the 50th anniversary. Even the look of the logo being gold, this is an iconic event. I mean, there's many other factors why this ticketing thing failed, 20 tickets and a very slow system, things like that. But it is 50th anniversary. This is going to be once in a lifetime. Now, you might have depressive moments, and I understand, because I'm feeling quite flat at the moment with Star Wars. Even with my excitement for Mandalorian Grogu, it's gone down. There's a statistic for Disney to sort of really take on. It's just gone down. It's like it's such a moment where if you're invited, technically if you were invited to your best friend's wedding, but didn't get an actual invite, and then you asked them and said, look, I never got an invite, but am I coming? And they said, I'm sorry, we forgot to put you on the list. We can't have you there. It's fully booked. I'm so sorry. It's that level of unbelievability. I mean, your best friend's getting married and you're not able to go to this event. And they say, oh, look, we'll have to do something outside of this. I don't know how that would make you feel, but I'd be quite devastated myself. But anyway, let's bring ourselves back to Star Wars Celebration. What you need to do, this is what you need to do as fans and wanting still tickets to this event, Star Wars Celebration 2027. Send off an email, ask to be on a wait list, and personally, know not to cancel whatever you've done with LA so far. Like if you've got like a hotel booking or a flight, keep it valid as long as you can until you start to have to pay for this. I've got a hotel booked with free cancellations. Look for those. It's going to be quite hard now with the hotel area being inundated in downtown LA especially. You'll be able to get hotels somewhere, but it could be a further distance. And just know, I'm sure they know, the organisers of Star Wars Celebration in 2027, they can only financially benefit from this. If that's all they care for is the monetary thing, which is, it's a business, I get it. If that's what they care, they should know, if you send this email that I've told you the address to, and if you have sent one already, they would have got thousands of emails. I'm sure of it. They would equate this to money. So I'm sure they'll get that they need to have tickets. I'm sure that they will release more tickets. Just stay tuned, for that. Don't cause yourself any anxiety. Put yourself on a wait list. Have yourself as a reminder in a couple of weeks, couple of months, and just leave it. Really just get on with life and know it still can happen. Okay, I just, if you put yourself through the anxiety of, I don't know, I need to know now, look, you really just need to get a grip, and you just need to be able to reattend to it by, scheduling your diary a couple of months from now, sending your emails, putting yourself on a wait list, joining up the Star Wars Celebration newsletter that is on the Star Wars Celebration page, not at starwars.com, but at Star Wars Celebration. Just look that up, put yourself on the mailing list, and things can happen. This is a detrimental event for Star Wars fans. As weird as that sounds for most regular people, but us Star Wars fans, if we're not invited to something like this, or create a way of getting into something like this, it's detrimental. And let's just get a grip and be patient, put it in the back in a schedule somewhere for you to be reminded, and attend to it then. It's what can be done. Anyway, so that is my views for this time around. Let's get into reviews. Reviews this time around is going to be the Mando local ticket sales. These are two cinemas I've chosen to show you. We've actually got midnight screenings here, which is great. I actually spoke to the one of the higher ups in this particular chain of theaters here, and he was telling me that he was excited for myself and getting a midnight session, and also he was telling me about some really interesting cinema creations and in like actual screens with sound coming through the actual screen, which would be a very interesting experience. But then I looked. So the first one I'm going to show you is at a location that's in the main area of Melbourne, but not the biggest one. As you can see, less than a third of the tickets have been sold to this point. I think it's okay. It's just on what I would think it is. But with the heavy advertising from many places, it's a little bit low in that thought, but it's still pretty early for people getting their tickets. It's a midnight session. Now the next one is probably at the biggest, most popular one from this chain. It's let me tell you, it's a really big area. The reason why I'm not giving the location names is because of possible privacy reasons, but this is a very big, well-known cinema. It's probably not the best one, but it's still very good. These cinemas that I'm going to for this particular movie are very good. But this one here is around a third full for the midnight screening. And if you look at the actual silhouette of what's been sold, it sort of looks like a bit of a silhouette of Baby Yoda, which I thought was quite surprising. But us Star Wars fans see things in things that no other people can see. But anyway, so at the moment I think it's just on. It's okay. It's not really like great, but closer to the date, which was still like we're a good week and a half away. I think it is week and a half away till the screening of the first screenings of Mandalorian and Grogu. But this, so really, I'm just going to sort of rank this at the moment out of 10. I'd say it's about a 6.5 out of 10. So my rating of how many tickets have been sold so far in pretty big cinemas. The first one not being so massive, but the second one being a very big sized cinema. It's okay, but Australian audiences are different to American audiences. I can tell you the fact that one big difference is Australian audiences are not always dead quiet, but they're close to more sort of quiet. You go to an American audience, which I was at the Chinese theatre for The Force Awakens opening night. My God, it was like going to a football crowd. It was full on, packed, everything like that. But it doesn't make Australian audiences bad. It's just we sort of watch it in a different way. Yeah, so that's a 6.5 out of 10 so far for the sales. I'm sure they'll increase. Get your tickets now. That's all I can say. And what I'd also suggest is if you want one of those elaborate popcorn or drink containers, more the popcorn, there's not many available, even weeks up in advance. Whether they make more available, I'm unsure. But if you really want to secure yourself onto a really funky popcorn container, get one now. Anyway, so that is my reviews for this time around. Let's get into interviews. Interviews is my questions that I've gotten in my last couple of, last video. I'll start with my last video. I have replied to most of these by text on. So what I do is get people to reply or send in comments or whatever, or just questions on my last particular YouTube video. I don't really have a running Instagram account or TikTok or Twitter or X or whatever it is. I just like to keep it simple. Anyway, I'm just going to go through my last particular one, which was my last particular video was called the Ticketing Devastation Update for Star Wars Celebration 2027. So the comments really started with okay, I'm going to say this the best way I can. Okay, Jorgeld Jesus 8465. Jorgeld Jesus 8465. I'm wishing I've said your name correctly. The first problem I knew Celebration will have is to do it in the LA Convention Center. Orlando, Chicago are bigger venues. At the moment, I knew this idiots at Star Wars Celebration will do it in downtown LA. I decided not to go. Add to that nightmare of finding hotels near the convention center in down LA. I have done a bit of investigation, and I think the LA Convention Center seems like it's not the right venue, but I think they're just thinking of iconic places in LA, sort of a midway to everything, and being next to the Crypto Center, sort of giving it a sort of a real nice backdrop. But I don't think it actually. I mean, one big area of criticism on myself is that these people who organise this event did not really think, when I would have thought before this, that this was going to be a massive event. No matter how bad Star Wars is treated at the moment by fans or by within Star Wars itself, but I knew that this is going to be a big event. It's the 50th anniversary. I mean, it's so but I agree with this Jorgo Jesus 8465. The event is not the right sized area. Was my initial complaint about this. Anyway, so then we've had another comment, another question. It was Computer Boy 2K said they need to convert to a system like Comic-Con where you have to pre-register all attendees in advance, and then what is purchased is required to be linked to that attendee. That should cut out scalpers, and I completely agree. I completely, absolutely agree. That's how you do it. But how you cut out the scalpers now is you make those tickets for Star Wars Celebration 2027 available ASAP by whoever it is in Star Wars, so the scalpers would have lost the possibility of selling those tickets. That's how you do it. Again, I'm not qualified, but I think that's a better qualification to do something like that. The next question was, or comment was Jamie 1200. Jamie 1200. What gets me mad is that I had to buy each day. Well, I get what you're saying, but I personally was going for the single days from the get-go. That's what I would have got, because I know that the badges or the tickets, they come in 4 separate tickets, and I just thought it's great, artwork. It's great to have all these things on your on your lanyard. It's just, it becomes a really memorable event. But I personally like it. But I get that you had to buy each day, and but look, be very thankful you've got into this event, because lots of us, like myself, are just at the moment not attending because of no tickets being available. So the next one was Hans Cholo 619. Hans Cholo 619, or it could be Hans Cholo 619. I don't know. I'm wishing I'm paying a proper pronunciation for your name. I wonder if they will resell all kids badges that were left over, because how would those ever sell out, and resell those as adult badges as we get closer to the celebration? Well, all tickets actually got sold, including the kids tickets. Kids tickets were still available at about, after the 4.5 hour mark. I could see them available, but for you to buy those tickets, you needed an adult ticket, but they got sold out short time after. So every single ticket, including kids tickets, complete sold out. Allies of the Force writes, thanks so much for the video update and reading out mine and other messages. It goes to show how the organisers have left the fans down. My pleasure. I'm glad you gave me that appreciation. I'm glad you even watched the last video, this video, whatever video. Allies of the Force, I'll say, they have let the fans down. I mean, in a way, I don't think they're really comprehending how bad and detrimental this is. I'll tell you this, when the panel reservation tickets will be available, the reservations, that's going to be another set of problems if they didn't go to the top of this. And they really do need to sell the tickets, if they're going to have other tickets available, before the panel reservations, because then it will block them ever getting a chance to going to the panels as well. So Star Wars really need to get their act together and start selling these tickets ASAP. And I'll tell you this, there will be a standby line. As you may have seen my Japanese celebration, I was the first in the standby line. I didn't have to be there that early, but Japan is a different way of compared to America. America is the home base of Star Wars. Japan, very enthusiastic, I'll tell you that. But I'll tell you this, you will need to be in that standby line for the Friday panel and the Saturday panel, at least, and I kid you not, 24 hours in advance. If they don't allow you to be in that standby line 24 hours in advance, you need to be in a standby line near the standby line. That means you need to make yourself not seen or heard, knowing the closest point to that standby line, because if you want to get in, that's how you're going to be able to get in. It will be incredibly slim to get into those panels because of the enthusiasm at the moment for this event and being the 50th anniversary. But if you want to get in a standby line, it's going to be a 24-hour wait in a standby line, just to let you know. And the actual, when they do the reservations online, it's going to be another set of problems for the organisers yet again. But if they think how a Star Wars fan thinks, you can contact me if you like Repop. You can contact many other fans if you like Repop to really find out if you're not qualified enough to understand, then we, the fans, are qualified. Anyway, so the next one, Miss Havasam 1287, 1287, Miss Haversam 1287 writes, and thanks for the video. When something isn't done right and there's unfairness and cheating, this thing hurts worse. I know there's bigger issues in life, but like you, I love Star Wars and have for over 40 years. For the event to be handled this way is awful. Star Wars fans deserve better. I completely agree. It's been an absolute devastation of a week for me. I'm sure for yourself. And even though, the emotion, is the first thing that gets in when something is unfair, but it has actually stuck with me still to this point. Like, I've got a real flatness about Star Wars at the moment. Because this is handled this is such an iconic moment. That's why I gave you the example before, that it's sort of like not being invited to your best friend's wedding. Okay, if you didn't get an invitation, fair enough, maybe you were forgotten, but then not able to go because it's booked out to your best friend's wedding, sort of like not being able to go to the Star Wars Celebration 2027. It's a real flattening feeling. But anyway, so that was the questions. I'm just going to go back and have a look to see if I did get any extras questions in the video before that, which I rarely do this. Let's look. I'll quickly look. I'll go through them. So, River Time F4C. This is my video beforehand, which I don't usually do this, but because of the seismic event here, River Time F4C. I was in queue for almost 5 hours. When I was finally able to enter the site, everything sold out. Horrible experience. I agree. Rowdy Stouty, if they do not fix it, I will not even try to go Celebration again. I did answer that question that comment the other time. I feel you, but I'm just saying, hold out for hope. Put it in a schedule. Don't think about it. Let the schedule remind you to reattend to it and give it a shot. Put yourself on a waiting list at Repop, which I gave you the email address before to. It's Star Wars Celebration at repop.com, spelled perfectly as is, and also be on the newsletter mailing list at Star Wars Celebration for this event, and they'll inform you. So anyway, the other comments and questions. Look, I've got another one. I won't go through all of them because I did go through some of these ones. I'm just trying to remember. Look, there's a Corma Finn O'Brien. Was it international buyers got screwed? Just asking. As I was waiting for 4 hours myself, didn't get tickets either. I think something happened internationally with the slowness of the online system. There's something happened because mine was in line with the one that was there was a particular YouTuber in America, and it was pretty much neck to neck, and his just went really fast ahead. Mine just took for ages. I think there was something happened there with the computer system. There was another comment added, only one Kenobi. Wow, man, gutted. I feel you. I completely agree. Hans Colo 619, Hans Colo 619. Amen and well said. Thanks for the awesome video. I was in queue for 1 hour 45 minutes with 3 devices. My buddy had 4. He got in on a laptop and was able to get the Friday, Saturday badges. This is our first time going to Celebration, most likely last time due to fiasco. I'm deeply saddened that I can't really read more because my computer is not allowing me to read more. But thank you very much. But I'm holding on to a new hope, like Star Wars. So the next ones. So we've got Michael, we've got Rowdy, Allies, Michael. I'm just going through the questions from the video, not the last video, the one before, just to sort of double check. So I tell you, him crazy about fast traveler. Okay, so yeah, so that's pretty much it. That was There's a lot of questions. Thank you very much for your support for this channel. But even just for me, it's not. This time, it's actually not about the views or the likes, and I do appreciate them. But you know, I'm wishing for all of us, hardcore Star Wars fans that love this franchise, that Reed Pop especially can get their act together as soon or as quick as possible and have this available. If there's not enough room at the event, make the room. I've told you canopies, I've told you crypto centers right next door. Something can happen. Make this an I can do rather than unfortunately. This is great feedback for the next time. And please update your computer system, Reed Pop. And due to the pandemic, I got a response with an email that started off as, "Hi there, due to the pandemic." My goodness. Such a professional company with a generated message that had not been updated was a real slap in the face. But anyway, that's the show for this time around. It's been quite a long show. Subscribe to the channel, The Force Awakens. I'm here 3 or 4 times a week with the Star Wars news, views, reviews, and interviews. And until next time, my friends, keep rocking.